Listen as I read the story called The Ugly Duckling. The Ugly Duckling is based on a tale by Hans Christian Andersen. What do baby ducks look like? How do they act? How are they different from grown-up ducks? Mother Duck sat on her eggs. She waited and waited. Suddenly, something moved. The eggs were beginning to hatch. One by one, the ducklings pushed out of their fragile shells. One by one, the ducklings looked at their mother for the first time. Mother Duck looked at them too. Most of the ducklings were small, yellow, and fuzzy, but one duckling looked different. That duckling was bigger than the others. His feathers were gray, and his neck was long. "I have never seen a duckling like you, my dear," Mother Duckling said. "You are certainly different, but I love you just the same." So for my English language learners, we're going to talk about the illustrations. Those are the pictures from that first page. How are the ducklings the same? How is the gray duckling different? How many ducklings are yellow? Is the mother duck bigger or smaller than the ducklings? So with your parents, you can go ahead and answer some of those questions by looking at this picture. You may pause this and have a conversation with your child if you would like, and I'm going to continue now with the rest of the story. "Follow me, sweet darlings," Mother Duck said. Then she hopped in the pond, and the ducklings followed. Mr. and Mrs. Frog saw the ducklings swim by. The two frogs were the proud parents of new baby tadpoles. "Mother Duck's new ducklings are as cute as our tadpoles, except that last one," said Mrs. Frog. "You're right," said Mr. Frog. "That is an ugly duckling." Mother Duck led the ducklings away. She did not want the ducklings to hear what the frog said. But it was too late. The gray duckling had heard the frogs. "Is it true, Mother? Am I an ugly duckling?" he asked. "You are beautiful," Mother Duckling said. "You are big and strong, and you will surely do well. I'm proud of all my ducklings. Don't listen to those silly frogs." The gray duckling wanted to believe Mother Duck, but it was hard. Everywhere he went, the animals reminded him that he was strange. "What an odd duck," they said. So again, for my English learners, and also for the rest of the class too, this is still good for you. The other animals said that the gray duckling was an odd duck. What do you think the word odd means? Which of these things is odd? A purple swan or a white swan? So you're right, if something is odd, it's kind of different. And then I'm going to continue reading. The gray duckling was sad. The other ducklings never invited him to play with them. He was alone. "There must be something wrong with me," he thought. "I do not belong." That night, while the duck family was sleeping, the gray duckling quietly wandered away. He floated down a stream. He saw many new places. He gathered information about other animals and the world around him. But this did not help him. He still felt alone. Then one day, he saw a group of beautiful white swans with long necks flying in the sky. "What beautiful birds," said the gray duckling. "If only I could fly away. Maybe I could find a home where I belong." The air grew chilly as fall came. Then it was winter. The ponds and streams froze. The gray duckling was often hungry and cold. So the gray duckling is sad because he is lonely. What does the gray duckling want after he sees the swans flying in the sky? What do you think? How do you think he will solve his problem? So you can have a conversation with your parents to answer some of those questions. What is he thinking when he's looking up in the sky? At last winter became spring. One day the duckling saw several beautiful white swans splashing in a distant pond. They were the same birds with the long necks he had seen flying months before. I want to swim and play too, he thought. I don't want to be alone anymore. The duckling stretched his wings. He felt stronger and bigger than before. Without even trying, he flew into the air. It felt wonderful to fly. The duckling flew to the pond, and the white swans gathered around him. I know I'm ugly and different, started the duckling. You're not ugly, said one of the swans. You are beautiful. We are here to welcome you. So here's the ugly duckling, and you can see he's looking in the water. And if you look in the water, sometimes you can see a reflection. It's not really clear, but you can kind of see almost like looking into a mirror. You are not ugly, said one of the swans. You are beautiful. We are here to welcome you. The duckling looked at his reflection in the water, and for the first time, he saw that they were right. He was a beautiful white swan, just like them. At last, he had found the place where he belonged. Okay, so that was our interactive read aloud, and so we're going to be thinking about what is happening. So the very first card I showed you, think about how the gray duckling is different from mother duck's other ducklings. Think about the size and the color. And on the next page, mother duck tells the gray duckling that he is beautiful. Why is it hard for the gray duckling to believe her? So the mother duck was telling the baby that he's beautiful no matter what. And then think about, why does the gray duckling leave the duck family? Why does he run away? And I wonder, where does he go? And then the very last picture I showed you as I was reading, what does the gray duckling become at the end of the story? Is he happy at last? And how do you know how he's feeling at the end of the story? So those are some things that you can go back and think about with your mom and dad. And then what I need you to do is you're going to find your Wonders Your Turn practice book. You're going to need a pencil. And if you would like, you can also get some colored pencils to use when we are done with our activity. We are going to find page number 5. Can you write your name at the top? So I'll wait for a little bit, and hopefully you have your name tag in front of you that you can do your best to copy your name from the name tag. If you need to, you may pause this video, have your parents help you. Eventually you're going to be able to do this yourself, but you can pause the video to finish completing your name. Okay, so we have 2 different pictures at the very top, and then we have a big empty rectangle at the bottom. So let's look right here at the top, and it says to tell what is happening in each box. You're going to be having a conversation with your mom or your dad, or if you have a babysitter or someone that's helping you. I know some of you might have an older brother or a sister or a grandparent, and you're going to tell them what is happening in this first picture using a complete sentence. And then when you're done, you're going to do the same thing here. What was he thinking when he looked up in the sky? So you can make some sentences with your family and tell them that. And then the last thing that you need to do, they're going to have you use your pencil first, and you're going to draw a picture of something else that happened in the story. So you can do that right here in this blank page. And as soon as you're done using your pencil to draw a picture here of what else happened in the story, you may use your colored pencils to go back and color it in with lots of color and lots of detail.